Imagine venturing beyond Earth into the vast unknown of space, where the human body faces unprecedented challenges that could redefine our understanding of health and survival. But at what cost to our ethics and innovation? This latest edition of the NASA Spaceline Current Awareness List dives deep into groundbreaking research on space life sciences, focusing on astrobiology and the critical health issues astronauts encounter during extended missions. From monitoring biochemical markers to uncovering hidden patterns in spaceflight transcriptomes, these studies not only highlight the marvels of human adaptation, but also raise intriguing questions about technology transfer to everyday healthcare. Buckle up as we explore how science is pushing the boundaries of exploration and perhaps sparking debates on the future of life in space. Papers deriving from NASA support. Ferraro S., Sengupta S., Shah J., Dave A., Shelley M., Cologne R., Zuccotti G., Mason C.E., Markovina S. https://pubmed.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov/411400086. Point-of-care testing of biochemical markers for monitoring astronauts during long-duration missions in deep space. Clin Chem Lab Med. 2025 October 28th. Online ahead of print. P.I. C. Mason. Note: from the abstract, investigations into human performance and health status during long-duration spaceflights are ongoing aboard the International Space Station, ISS, and are critical for planning missions beyond low Earth orbit, LEO. This review evaluates the current evidence on point-of-care testing, POCT, in space, discussing requirements for POCT to support astronaut health during extended deep space missions and the potential for technology transfer to terrestrial healthcare. Journal Impact Factor 3.7. Funding. CEM thanks the World Quant and GI Research Foundation, NASA, NNX 14AH50G, NNX 17AB26G, NNH 18ZTT001N, FG2, 80 NSSC22, K0254, 80 NSSC 23K0832, 24-24, NSCOR 2-0008. 24-24 flag 2-0099 and 22-22 SBR_2-0104. The National Institutes of Health are 01ES032638 and U54AG089334, and the LLS MCL 7001-18, LLS 9238-16, 7029-23. To put it simply, this paper looks at how we can quickly test blood markers right on the spot during space missions to keep an eye on astronauts' health, much like portable tests used in hospitals on Earth. It's essential because deep space travel means no quick trips back to doctors. Think of it as equipping explorers with mini-lab tools to prevent emergencies. But here's where it gets controversial. Could these space-developed technologies revolutionize rural or underserved healthcare on Earth? Or might they widen the gap between high-tech and low-resource areas? COD, Strickland HF, Joe M., Barker R., Furl RJ, Paul AL, Gilroy S. https://pubmed.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov/41152268. Glare. Discovering hidden patterns in spaceflight transcriptome using representation learning. NPJ Microgravity. 2025 October 28, 11:76. P.I. S. Gilroy. Note: this article may be obtained online without charge. Journal Impact Factor 5.1. Funding. The CARA experiment was supported by grant number GA 2013-104, Center for Advancement of Science in Space, to A. L. Paul, P.I., and R.J. Furl, Coy. We gratefully acknowledge support from NASA 80 NSSC 19K0132, 80 NSSC 19K0126, and 80 NSSC 21K0577 to SG. Diving into the world of genetics, this study uses advanced AI-like techniques to spot patterns in gene activity that might be hidden during space flights. For beginners, imagine your body's genes as a complex book. Space changes how it's written, and this tool helps read those alterations. Funded by NASA, It's a step toward predicting how plants and humans react to microgravity, potentially leading to better crop yields in space habitats. And this is the part most people miss. How might this gene-mapping tech influence personalized medicine back on Earth? Or could it raise privacy concerns if used beyond space exploration? Landon L.B., Bejarowski S.R., Roma P.G., Whiting S.E., Bell S.T., Massa G.D. https://pubmed.ncbi@nlm.nih.gov/411454494. Sustaining the Merry Space Farmer with Pick-and-Eat Crop Production. NPJ Microgravity. 2025 October 27, 11:72. Note: this article may be obtained online without charge. Journal Impact Factor 5.1. Funding. This research was supported by the Human Health and Performance Contract NNJ 15HK11B and NASA Grant Master Task List Number 1075. Principal Investigator, G.D. Massa. Ever thought about astronauts munching on fresh veggies grown in space? This research explores how to keep crops thriving in microgravity, allowing for pick-and-eat farming that sustains crews on long journeys. It's like setting up a garden on a spaceship, ensuring nutritional freshness and reducing reliance on packaged food, which can get monotonous after months. But here's where it gets controversial. While this boosts self-sufficiency in space, critics might argue it distracts from solving Earth's food shortages first. Does prioritizing space farming mean neglecting global hunger woes? Litzenberg K., Basham R., Naying L.Y., Mather P., Woldeselis F., Landis S., Cowings P., Toscano W., Rashid H., Abel T. https://pubmed.ncbi@nlm.nih.gov/41139-378. Nausea, autonomic function, and the astronauts. Concepts, findings, and applications to GMD patient care. Dig Dis Sci. 2025 October 26. Online ahead of print. Note: this article may be obtained online without charge. Journal Impact Factor 2.5. Funding P. Cowings and W. Toscano are affiliated with NASA Ames Research Center. Tackling the dreaded space sickness. This paper examines nausea and how the body's automatic systems, like heart rate and digestion, behave in space, drawing parallels to gastrointestinal motility disorders, GMD, on Earth. For those new to this, space nausea often stems from disorientation in zero gravity, similar to motion sickness but amplified. Insights here could help treat not just astronauts but patients with similar earthbound issues, like chronic upset stomach. And this is the part most people miss. Could understanding space-induced nausea lead to breakthroughs in treating nausea from chemotherapy or other illnesses? Or might it inadvertently lead to overmedication debates? Or C. Mackey E., Jamshidi Parjan A., Byram S., Putuk R., Griffin R., Rayna N. S. https://pubmed.ncbi@nlm.nih.gov/41142195. Musculoskeletal mRNA profiling after exposure to simulated space stressors in mice. Micropubl Bio. 2025 October 8:2025. Note: hindlimb unloading study. This article may be obtained online without charge. Journal Impact Factor. Not available for this journal. Funding. Supported by NASA PSCOR 80 NSSC 21 M0323 Tarupuk Puduk. Using mice in a setup that mimics space's effects, like unloading hind limbs to simulate weightlessness. This study profiles microRNAs, tiny molecules that regulate gene activity in muscles and bones. It's a way to understand how space weakens our skeletal structure, which is crucial for long missions. Beginners can think of microRNAs as messengers that tell cells how to behave. Here, they're revealing why astronauts might lose bone density. But here's where it gets controversial. Animal testing is key for space research. But does the potential for human benefits justify the ethics of experimenting on mice, especially when alternatives like computer models exist? Peenlikit T., Lou J., Ahmed T., Welsh J.S., Karakach T., Schroer K.R., Wharton E., Rithodek K.N. https://www.mdpi.com/2072-669 4/17/21/3513.